Hey guys, got a scenario for you. Just imagine this for a second. You go out and you spend a whole heap of money and you buy yourself a new iPad and you take it home. Give them a whole heap of money first, take it home. And a couple of days later, a little envelope turns up in the post and it's from Apple and they're saying, oh, whoops, sorry, we forgot to give you these screws. We forgot to install these screws in your iPad. Little packet with a few little screws and washers and nuts and a couple little unidentified electronic components, and a little note saying, oh look, sorry, we forgot to install these. Please install these as soon as possible in your iPad. It's very important. Or worse still, you spend a whole heap more money and you buy a car and you take the car home, and a couple of days later the same thing happens. A little envelope turns up with a bunch of screws, electronic components, half a brake pad, a couple of important looking things, and a note, you know, please install this in your car as soon as possible, it's really important. You wouldn't be really impressed, would you, that they'd sold you an iPad or a car that they hadn't finished yet? So why the hell do we accept it when they do that with software all the time? Why do we accept it when we give Microsoft or somebody a couple of $100 for some software and we take it home, and a couple of days later or a week later, you know, a little pop-up pops up on our screen saying, you know, you need to install this patch. You need to install this patch on your software. There's an update or an update software patch, you know, appears on your screen. Whoops. So they made the software, didn't test it properly, and then they find a little bit later, oh whoops, it's not compatible with Firefox, or it's not compatible with Microsoft, or it's not compatible with Photoshop, or it's not compatible with a media player or something, because they didn't test it. They didn't test it first. Why do we accept that? They do it all the time. It's because they're in a big hurry, aren't they? They're in a big hurry to send out, to make the software and finish it and send it out as soon as possible, because you've got to have the latest. How long it takes them to actually, whether it's actually complete or not, is the second most important thing. Most important thing is it's released soon. Send it to the people soon, you know, and they don't test it properly. They don't have a room. You think they would have a room of nerds with computers to test the stuff before they send it out, but evidently they don't. So we accept it, don't we? We accept that they do that, and that's just what they do, and we just accept it. Oh, as a patch, okay, I'll just install the patch. So I hear people all the time saying, isn't the technology amazing? Isn't the technology amazing? It's just amazing what they can do these days. Isn't it amazing? I don't think so. I think it's 80% amazing. I do. People talk about, I use Skype a lot to talk to my friends here in Australia and my friends in Spain and friends around the world, and I love Skype. It's really good, and it's 80% amazing. 80% of the time it is amazing, you know, that you can push a button and it's brut, 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 and a boing, oh hey, how you doing, man? And you can see each other and you can talk, and it's just like being in the same room, isn't it? Isn't it amazing technology? Oh, it's amazing, you know. 80% of the time, that's what it's like. The other 20% of the time, brut, 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 break, up. It fails. 20% of the time it fails. And it breaks up, or you can't, the image doesn't come up, the video doesn't work, or there's something wrong with it for the other 20% of the time. And most of it's like that, isn't it, the technology, you know? 80% of the time it's freaking amazing, and 20% of the time it fails miserably. You know, I'll sit and work on my videos, editing a video, you know, for an hour and a half, editing and putting in sound and doing all different things, and cutting and getting it all just right, and then suddenly it'll freeze, just freeze, and there's nothing that can be done. You try all different things to get around, nothing can be done. The only thing to do is to shut it down, and when you shut it down you lose everything you did, you know. And again, that software is great, that software is amazing 80% of the time, and 20% of the time you need to tear your hair out, you know. So And of course, any Google product will have a big laugh at you for this shit. You know, Google have a habit of that. They're classic for it. I mean, they own YouTube, so they're the masters of releasing stuff that's not finished yet. You know, they'll make an upgrade of something. You know, recently they upgraded the uploading page, so the page that you use to upload videos with. So you upload the video and you input all sorts of information on that page, you know. And they just forgot stuff. They forgot to put the little box so you can connect to your playlist. And they forgot a couple of other things as well. Just forgot, you know. Some young guy's finished putting it together and his boss has gone, "You finished it? Yeah, okay, release it quickly." quick, release it. You know, and nobody bothered to check it, make sure it was all there. It wasn't all there. And they released it. Oh, yeah. And Google have a habit when they make a mistake, when they release something and then it's not working. You know, you guys have possibly seen this. Sometimes you try and access a Google page and a note comes up and says, "Oops, something you've done broke Google." And it didn't. You didn't break Google. It's just there's a fault. But they're making a little joke, right? They're trying to lighten the mood with a little joke. "Oops, something you did broke Google. A team of highly trained monkeys is working on fixing it." So it's Google's little joke. Let's have a little joke at the fact that our software isn't working properly. You know, our site isn't working properly. Our software isn't working properly. Let's have a little laugh at that. Which, if you've got all day to kill and you've got lots of spare time and you've got other stuff that you can do, it is hysterically funny, the joke about the monkeys. Yeah, highly trained monkeys. Yes, that's very funny. But if you've got 5 minutes before you got to leave and you need some information from your computer and you need some Google thing to do it, and that pops up, it's not funny. You're under stress. The Google thing's failed you again. You're really pissed off and frustrated, and they're making a little joke about it. Again, 80% of the time, Google's technology is amazing. The stuff that they can do. You know, they really do lead the way in all of this stuff, don't they? They are amazing 80% of the time. And then 20% of the time, they're a big fail. So when people say to me, "Isn't that technology amazing? Isn't it incredible? Isn't it amazing? What amazing technology?" I tell them it's almost amazing. And I think in the future, this is the way we'll see it. It's the same as if you have a problem with your computer. Recently, I wanted to change. I had an English operating system on a Japanese computer, and I wanted to change something. And I went on a forum to get the information. And these guys, obviously, you know, young computer nerds that knew what they were doing, are giving me big, long descriptions on what I needed to do to fix this little problem. Small problem, just a keyboard thing. Which keys do what on the keyboard. And it was a programming thing, you know. And instead of just plugging it in and the computer saying, "Oh, it's one of those keyboards. Here are your options. Click, click." It didn't do that. What we had to do was go through this big list of things that we had to do in the computer to reset, rechange, reformat, re-systemize, re-conglomerize, conglobulate, all this stuff to the computer just to make this freaking keyboard work. You know, and just ridiculous. And you guys that aren't computer wizards will understand what I'm saying here. That, you know, oh, you just need to do this, and a big list of instructions on what you need to do to fix that tiny little problem. You know, I'll be impressed with the technology when it fixes itself. And again, 80% of the time it will. 80% of the time a little note pops up and says, "Oh, we recognize that you've plugged in this printer. Would you like us to connect that printer?" And you go, "Yes," and it goes, ba-ding, and it does it. 80% of the time, excellent. That's impressive. I love that. Plug in a new camera and it says, "Oh, we recognize you've plugged in a Nikon, whatever it is, and would you want us to configure?" "Yes, please. Yes, please connect that." You know, 80% of the time, very impressive. And that's what it should do. You know, if you've got a computer there with 60 billion hectokabulabytes and in 48 qubit mega drive hard drive superlatives, it should be able to do all that stuff. To have some old dude sitting there doing this to fix the problem is freaking ridiculous when the computer's got all that technology going on. You know, why does it need me to do it? It doesn't need me. It's got more intelligence than I have. You know, why does it need me? It should be able to do it itself. You should be able to throw a camera at the computer. The computer should catch it and connect it and say, what would you like us to do next? You know, have me sitting there reformatting shit, connecting up patches, get the patch, connect the patch, re-download the new update, the synth. It should all be automatic. And again, 80% of the time it is, isn't it? Boof comes up and says, would you like us to automatically update? And you can say yes. And it goes, boof, finished updating. Yes, that's what we want. 80% of the time. Very good, very good. 20% of the time, freaking ridiculous. You're on the internet trying to find, God help you if you've got an internet connection problem. Because if you can't connect to the internet, you can't solve that problem. There's a nasty situation. I've got an internet connection problem. Okay, well you need to go to our website. The first thing you need to do is to connect to the website. Right, well I've got an internet connection problem. It's game over for you. You can forget it. You're never going to have internet again if you've got that problem. You got some internet problem that can only be solved by going to that company's website. You're never connecting to the internet again. So yeah, like you can see, we're almost there, you know. It's 80% amazing. You know, sometime maybe 10 years, 20 years time, when they've made it really user-friendly, because it's not user-friendly yet. You know, not everybody can do what needs to be done to maintain a computer yet. You know, I've got Windows, what do they call it? Windows Care, and I've got all this sort of automatic programs that, you know, clean up the computer and reformat and what do they call it, defrag and all that sort of stuff. And that's all great, but there's still a lot of stuff, isn't there, that you have to be a computer wizard to be able to do, you know? So when they get it that it's all automatic, and then all you have to do is walk into the room like they do in Star Trek, walk in and say, computer, and the computer says, yes, yes, you know, hello, you know, then I'll be impressed. Until then, it's only 80% impressive. So, anyway, bit of a rant. More ramblings, rants, coming soon.